Welcome back. So let's try to actually upload a file. I think that will be the next step. Now, first of all, we have to kind of figure out how we upload files with Angular Fire and how we get a file to Fire storage. So let's try and jump into Angular Fire 2. I'm going to the root of this and I'll go down until we find something about Angular Fire storage. And it's down here about upload files, how to use cloud storage. So I'll click this guy and go into Angular Fire storage. And here I can see the first thing I need to start uploading files is to start using the Fire storage module. Now we're not talking about the Firestore module, but the Fire storage module. So let's jump into our add module and add that new module. Again, notice these are two different modules. Firestore is the database, Fire storage is for file management, right? So that's where we need to store our files. Now that's into our system. Next step will be to kind of figure out how can we then use this. And if we scroll further down, you'll see there's something about a Fire storage service we can use. So that's the one I want to use. Now right now they're showing it here in the component, but since we made a file service, that's of course where we want to use it. We want the file service to take care of uploading files for us. It just makes sense. So what I'll do is I'll go to my file service, I'll open the constructor right here, and I'll put this into the constructor. So now we have access to the storage and we can actually start uploading files. But how do we do it? Well, back to the example. So I keep scrolling down. It seems that there are 3 ways to upload blobs, which is pretty much just another word for files, right? You can either put the data up here, or you can put a string up, or you can upload. So we're going to try and use the put function this lesson. And it seems it's going to end up with some kind of Angular Fire upload task and starts the upload of the blob to the storage path and returns an upload task for upload monitoring. So that's what we're going to try and use. Scrolling further down, there's actually an example on how you can do it. And it seems the first thing I need is kind of the file I want to upload. Well, we already have that right here. That's the file I want to upload. It seems we need some kind of path. Well, that makes sense. That's probably the path where we want to upload it to, right? Makes sense. And the final thing, it seems we need to use that path inside something called storage ref. So let's start there. So first thing I'll do is I'll go into my file service. I'll say this storage.ref. And here what I'll do is I'll put in the path where I want to upload my file. And we're going to make something called product pictures right here. And I'll do a slash. Now this will be the folder that I'll put all my product pictures into. And for now what I'll do is I'll pretty much just add the name of the file right here in the end. Later we'll change that to make the entire setup that I wanted to kind of make a great way of storing my files uniquely into Firebase. So now we have some kind of storage reference on where we want to put the files. What to do next? Well, it seems I now need to call some kind of function called put to kind of upload the file, and that should be it, right? If I look at this example right here. So let's try and do that. Let's do the .put, and then that's just right here at the file that we want to upload, right? That should be it. Now this should actually be enough. Now we're not calling subscribe or anything right here because right now this is just a method that gets a file and it starts uploading somehow to Firebase. We're not going to add the observable pattern yet. We'll do that in the next lesson. So let's try and use this now. So what I'll do is I'll jump into my product list component because there I already made an upload file method that I proved to you earlier works. So what I want to do is kind of start out by getting my file service in here. So let's just add a comma right here and start using that private fs for file service and file service. There we go. Now I'll use that file service right here to kind of start uploading the file. So let's jump down here and say this.fs.upload. And I'll put in that file right here. And that should be pretty much it, right? That should be all I have to do. Now it should actually call the same code that I see here in my example. I call the upload file event, and I pretty much get the file that I want to upload. And then I call these 2 methods and end up with a task. So let's see if we actually get our file onto Firebase when we try to call this method right here. So I'll hit the file. I just choose a default PNG right here that I created earlier. Let's just try and upload. And you'll see I actually hit the upload right here. So it has tried to upload the file. This is my file. And let's just see if it actually got onto Firebase. Jumping into my Firebase setup right here. And let's try and open the files and see if it actually uploaded my new file. But there's no file available. That's strange. Oh, it says something about security rules. Maybe that's the problem. Let's remove those rules so anybody can upload files. It might be because I'm not logged in. So I'm going in here and I'm just going to remove all the rules right here. So it doesn't matter if I'm authorized actually. Let's just get rid of those and publish this. Now anybody can write and read from my Firebase. Now of course that's a bad idea, but just to kind of see if that's the problem why I cannot upload files right now, Maybe that's the problem. Try and check it out. So again, I get a warning now, anybody can upload files. Let's try again to just pick something and try to upload it. Going to choose a file right here. Bloop. Going to pick a file. Doops. It's going to hit the breakpoint, and again, it's called my upload service right here. I'll just continue the debugger, and let's see if we got a file up here now. So jumping into files, let's see if it's up there. Nope, still no file. What's wrong? Well, if I go back to the example, there's no mention about calling anything except this to kind of upload the file, but I end up with something called a task. So maybe it actually hasn't executed the upload yet. Let's try and jump back to our code and see what we can do. So when I call the upload in the file service right here, there's actually another method I can call called then. Now there are other methods as well, but I want to call the then method because that sounds like something I need to call to kind of say, when you're done uploading, let me see what you got. So what we're going to do is we're going to call the then method, and in here we're just going to add a debugger, just kind of saying we're done uploading, right? Or something like that. I don't know what's going to happen. Jumping back to the code right here, going to choose a file again. There we go. I'm going to pick the file right here. I'm going to try and see if it uploads now. So again, I hit the debugger right here the first time. I noticed now this method has been called, but I haven't gotten into the then method yet. So I'll continue, and now I get a second reply right here, and that's actually the then method that just uploaded the file for me, hopefully. So let's just continue right here as well and see if we actually got the file to Firebase now. There we go. We have a folder now, product pictures, and in the folder we actually have our file. We just uploaded the file. Now we'll dive more into this, and we'll start using this just like we did with Observables earlier. We kind of open up this can of worms, but now you just try to upload your first file if you kind of followed this guide right here. Now step one again was we went into the file service, we started using the reference to explain where we wanted to upload the file, right? Put in the name of the path and the actual name of the file. We made this put to kind of add the file that we actually wanted to upload, and the final thing is we called the then function to kind of execute the upload, it seems. So let's dive more into this, but now you try to upload your first file. See you next time, have fun.